Welcome to another episode of the Read Pile. Today I'm talking about Afterlife with Archie, which remains almost the only Archie I've ever read. After this, which I'll get to the origin in a minute, I also grabbed Jughead the Hunger. I did not get the Veronica, but I hear that was also good. Archie just hit. I either discovered it at a time where I was already uninterested, essentially. I recognized from an early age Archie was just not for me, and I never cared, never read it, never even attempted, but they were doing interesting things in the 2010s. And part of that, I'll bring this back for a second, was the start of this horror line, which includes, I think it started with Sabrina, it moved into Archie, Jughead, and then Veronica. So you can see here, same writer on both of these, and he then went on to, I think he was showrunner, creator, writer of the Netflix Sabrina show, which I also enjoyed, but somehow I had a digital copy of this trade, and I read it on vacation while in Costa Rica in a hotel room on a rainy day. I don't remember how I got it, whether it was like a sample from Comixology or I got it from Amazon credits back when those two things were separate. But regardless, I read this, I loved it, and then I bought the physical copy of it because I needed to... One, I wanted to reread it immediately, but two, I just loved it. So I think this might also be where I took notice of Francavilla. He's all over the place for the last... If this came out in 10 years, yes. So he's done work for the Hellboy universe. He's done countless covers, but he's incredibly talented. This book has tons of just monster lighting, but it's I'd say cinematic in its style. It starts right here with Jughead and a dead dog showing up on Sabrina's door. It then leads to all-out zombie takeover of Riverdale. These people down there. But what I particularly enjoyed, so I'm familiar enough with the cast of Jughead, Archie, Betty, Veronica, and then Kevin, and there's Ginger and Jason, and I don't know. There's other people, like, after I think those main four, then I know names and I maybe know appearance, but not much more beyond that. So I had a baseline knowledge of who these characters are and sort of what they're about, and this, I don't know, it just hit at a very clever, at a risky, look at this. That's funny. It's good. It's good, it's funny. But there's just a level of adultness in this. This whole conversation here, nothing is ever overtly stated, but you can tell what's going on. But there's swears. I can't remember how many times Archie swears in this, but there's plenty of violence. And on top of that there's a level of heartbreak to everything. It's just incredibly well written. The art, if I haven't praised it enough, is spectacular. But it makes you care about characters, or in this case, a couple of dogs, and then it just tears your heart out with what happens. It's absolutely brutal and amazing. I spent years... Let me backtrack. So this is the first 5 issues. There was a second arc that started. Additional 5 issues were created, and it was supposed to be a 7-issue arc, so 12 issues were intended. 10 were printed, and it's been on hiatus ever since. So a second collection was never made, but there are 5 additional issues after this. This does reach a type of conclusion. It certainly doesn't end the story. And for years after this, I kept hoping that they really would come back and do more, and he's, I think, been busy with television ever since. But especially after Sabrina was canceled by Netflix, again, I hoped, he had plans, I think, for another 2 seasons of the show, but certainly the way that it ended, the Netflix series ended, was not intentional. And if I haven't said this on the channel before, then I think certain television movie creators that have plans for more of whatever gets canceled, that doesn't get produced, should continue in comic form. It's incredibly cheap, at least compared to television and movies. And there are the fans that would buy it, because, I don't know, it seems obvious to me, but Sabrina could continue. I don't know. I don't know what the Netflix contract is, but it seems like it should continue. This, I hope, does continue at some point when their schedules free up. It's very well done. If you have not read this, I certainly recommend it. As I said, the writing and the art are just perfection. There's one weird thing as far as Mr. Lodge goes, and just the timing of it. He talks about having built his house by himself, and I'm like, so your wife is pregnant, and by the time she's in high school, you built a mansion by yourself? I don't know. I guess it's possible. It seems unrealistic. And in a book where magic brings a dog back to life as a zombie, that's the thing that sticks out to me as unrealistic. Otherwise, it is just incredibly well done. Highly recommended.